My revolution, love, blinding like a rainbow, ashes underfoot. Your fingers sparkle. Where is your humanity? The earth is hollow. Both of us hungry. I split an apple in two. My revolution. Life depends on us. Where is your humanity? I lie still, waiting. My revolution knows the temperature of blood, how it breathes still.
My revolution was born in the tenements of 72. My revolution cradled her piped dream close of piano lessons, thought of the children she would one day cherish dear. My revolution found a stable job and stepped out of poverty. My revolution never learned her oath, was sworn to state, not nation. My revolution, she asks her oldest, where is your humanity? How was work today? His back to the screen where crowds sing for more than votes. My revolution, the young journalist who's never hungered, who plays sonatas, whose blood churns with history. Where is your humanity? His future, and yours.
My revolution, that bitter taste of blood, dirt, scraped knees, broken nails, just minor cuts, right? Where's your humanity? We're burying bodies, the tide only knows of loss, pain. We've won now. My revolution, such revelation, there's no substitution. My revolution, where's yours? Humanity in my hands, kept sacred. The bird crows soft, where is your humanity? You soothe her cries, silence. Sweat trickles down your neck, ugly in the face of my revolution. My revolution, healing scars on my tongue with no bites on the flesh. Ask the trick machine, where is your humanity? Engines cannot weep. Pointed pens leave scars, fire branded in skin, memory, my revolution. How can straight white teeth smile so crookedly? Where is your humanity?
%, nitrous oxide, 21% oxygen, 15% THC, 10% children's imaginations, and 2% shit I'm just not clever enough to know.
Earth to Red Velvet, what planet are you on? Red Velvet to Earth, day 257 aboard. Hello?
Basically, the entire planet is covered in water. But get this, it's purple. Because that's my favourite colour. That's the only reason.
Crescent moons and constellations at war in the sky. The former with its scriptural incantatory ammunition, the latter with its pseudo-divine predictions. This conflict has been boiling for millennia. Fields of sunflowers craning their necks back to see whether victory will be lunar or stellar. Mortals telling stories of the battles, of when the moon set himself aflame and spoke his truth, of when the stars beckoned Neptune to make a battalion of fools out of the enemy armies. Each fleshy thing on the ground with its own theories, its own tomes of the narrative. Those with their faith in the moon count the days between its self-birthing and killing, fast through daylight of every 12th lunar life, sacrifice their cattle so he might welcome them to set foot on his lustrous face.
With shifting tectonic plates, it's always twisting and changing the lilac waves, much like my mental state. So expect hurricanes, but purple, remember? The inhabitants are adopted misfits, building homes and boats to live in. It's ever-changing, but it's safer than the ones that they've been in before. Or they're here to explore. Geysers and hot springs spit up smoke that relaxes, and the clouds are shaped like rings for unrelated reasons.
Exoanthropological field notes on Planet Jack, which we have been informed is named thus by the massive fuck-off neon sign bobbing in the waves. Burnished red-orange, flickering itself to sleep as night fades into periphery. Dawn here feels akin to noon on Earth. In fact, schedules are arranged not as rules, but as rhythms, the day's music nudging and suggesting. Planet Jack has a higher axial tilt and lower rotation speed than Earth. Its tectonic plates in a rapid dance. Warmth and wind. Monsoon tropics balmy till it's not. Archipelagos teem with a society adapted to storms and surges. Floating cities bridged with rope trail families of ships. Their inhabitants, once fishers, rice farmers, and wayfinders, have harnessed lightning for power. Well, the humanoid ones.
It looks like your nan's curtains from a distance. The planet, you sausage. And just like your nan's curtains, on closer inspection, they appear to be complex, intricate. These are visions that have been graced upon us. This is Mother Nature. She grew tired of Earth. She grew creative here. Held homage to you with your nan's curtains. We have shades of green. Your eyes can't even process into the greed of green. Like Earth, we have a core. But ours isn't a hot ball. It's love, trust, and I do believe in fairies. I do. Ever since the eruption from parental pussy, this planet has stayed afloat.
I'm sorry, what planet are you on? Planet Jack, as previously stated. With some labor mechanized, society is free to sculpt suspicious-looking objects from sand and play dodgeball with coconuts. Nightfall brings bonfires, open-air theater, and social dances. The planet's primary hazard is mountains blowing up their heads in smoke and sparks and boiling rock. And society has adapted to the oncoming tide of lava by surfing it like a saxophonist is on their heels. Or with the help of another sapient species. Built like earthly manta rays, these sky pancakes swim through clouds with beings on their backs. Following closer observation, they are gentle of temper, as if magic carpets communicated in sign language.
Followers of the stars know themselves and their beloved. Each soul looking to the horizon at birth to see which dotted image it will burn in. Ritually consulting the night sky for what they need to know to be loved and alive. But then, there are those who only have eyes for the dark, who hide in the caverns of this planet, have heard that there are third sources of light that could envelop them in its body and make them light themselves. So they go searching for fire, for bioluminescent creatures, or each other's eyes, to see if that blasphemous light is real and how much of it they can take.
The atmosphere is clear, so we always see the stars, even those beneath who shouldn't see that far. It's a classic secret underwater city, under purple water city, where the ancient beings that created the violet sea, global warming probably, well, they turned into amoebas, but still sexy. Why? They're skinny. Swimming down there with them are fish, but freaky. You know, blobfish, a seahorse that looks like a real horse. Of course, I'd rather be here, you see? Warm, wet and washed up, free on Fish Beach.
Limited inhabiting here, a small town to keep maintenance. It's something more to be admired, just a sort of fantasy. I have lied. We are actually a non-profit organisation and do our bit for charity. So for every foul human that abandons adorable kitty cat, we take one in and let it roam free. And this does make our planet perfect. Well, there is a small technicality issue. We're only 286 miles long, a fifth of Pluto. So in the eyes of NASA law, we're not technically a planet. Justice for small bodies that revolve around the sun. Petite planets are planets too.
This is a service to destiny. The next stop will be self-sabotage. Lucky I've got a few more stops left. This is a service to unify as one. The next stop will be looking your neighbour in the eye and say thank you. This is a service to redemption. The next stop will be acceptance. This is a service to nowhere. The next stop will be...
This is a service to blessings. The next stop will be eye contact with a stranger whose heartbeat you have been sleeping to all your life.
This is a service to
This is a service to
salvation. The next stop will be getting
everybody that you have left to give.
This is a service to build a soul.
This is a service to East Didsbury. The next stop will be St Peter's Square.
आप चावल कैसे पकाते हो?
通常用電飯煲。你食唔食得辣㗎？
नहीं, मेरा पेट खराब करता है। आपका शादी हुआ है अभी तक?
冇乜打算，做咩你有興趣啊？你細個嗰陣阿爸媽攞咩嚟打你啊
कभी हाथों के साथ, कभी चप्पलों के साथ।
？No, fuck off！
Yeah, man. आपको मिर्च के खाने अच्छे लगते हैं?
慢慢適應緊啦，但係我都係比較中意夏天。你幾耐翻一次屋企？
इतना ज़्यादा नहीं। यहाँ पर कब आए थे?
嚟咗4年零1個月。你點解會喺度嘅？
मेरे माँ बाप की वजह से है ना। यहाँ पर किसके साथ आए थे?
嚴格嚟講，搭緊咖啡。
It's a catch-22 being stuck between a rock and a hard place, nowhere to turn.
Revolve your life around lines drawn in the sand.
We revolve as the barrel of a Russian roulette.
I will take this revolver to my skull and blow my brains all over you in the hopes that my blood will suffice as education for your ignorance.
Stay still.
It could be you.
Sit down.
It could be me.
Be quiet.
It'll be him next.
Indoor voices only.
It was him.
It's revolting, your attitude problem.
Resolve the need of revolting, resolve the need of a revolution.
No, the real problem is you standing far, far too close to me. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Like a catapult, pulled back, pulled tight, ready to fly till it snap.
Revolt against the general rule of thumb, because they're keeping you trapped under theirs.
Evolve! I can teach you how to surpass these fleshy forms. True love is only one generation away, spinning in zygotes in the skies we speak. Revolt. There are creatures that don't want you to learn how to fly. Will govern the laws of aerodynamics all for themselves. Clip their wings. Attach them to your own back. If it can carry cities, then why not this? Revolting. Verb. What you're doing when you make the clouds embody your will with your eyes. We always had the power. Listen to the gravestones. They know how. Revolution. And suddenly, the earth is your sky. It was always meant to be this way. Your feet in the blue like fish in the ocean. Did you know that this was dormant? All this love?
Revolution. Where oil runs thicker than water, blood spills. So what's the point in protesting?
What good is a balloon caught in the space between taught and demanding to be heard? What good is a bandage lying loose in wait to soak the gold of men when you open the cabinet door?
My revolution might not be as grand as yours. My mum says that's okay.
Mum, are you sorry I got the education you wanted for me?
I understand. Your voice will not work in vain. It will carry millions of children's pain. Grow heavier with every sting of death, the blood of the people on your breath. I need your voice's mournful cry to push into the ground the stars and sky, to sing aloud our martyr songs, so maybe the earth will forgive us our wrongs.
Hi, you.
Revolution. I don't think I'm brave. I'm not quite right for the job.
Then who?
You take revolution and hold it to your chest. Try to take it to your inkwell. Don't choke.
Let its punch glide down your throat, past the poems, past the ululations and everything else that is stuck. And once it has found some place empty, it will land and bloom.
We charge to revolt a voltage of shaken hands, wrenched shoulders, wept promises and cars washed clean in the rain. A voltage charged to try again, revolting the grind of nose to screen to tile. You see, pores were meant to give a sponge-like ability, soak up the facts that weren't, the fires that were, and the barrel turns its revolution, sight trained.
They give their apologies, so we know they've done their part. But there's no heart left in this place. Becoming a paper town, a manufacturing error on the map, because let's face it, everyone here is already dead. Both of us hungry. I split an apple into two. My revolution
Is not as grand as yours. My mum says that's okay.
She never learned her oath. Was sworn to state, not nation. My revolution.
Healing scars on my tongue with no bites and rough flesh.
So, how does one define what it's like to relish in the passion of being devoted to the culture of Kyia KB? Let's start with the 3 Ds. Dyslexic, delusional and dysfunctional. Apostrophe, sexy.
It is a revolution to laugh at a world that wants you to kill yourself.
Bro! English. What a man on the street calls me when he needs to ask for directions. I could tell him I'm non-binary and I don't like to be called masculine terms, but he would only respond with only confusion, no malice. The fuck is that, bro?
Fuck spiders. We're just out here feeling fine in the button down you must know is menswear, though the thrift shop is correctly ungendered.
Bone to bone, heart to heart, she'll love you even further than that. Chat to chat, chat shit, get more shit chatted back. Now the 3 A's. ADHD, abused, artistic, apostrophe, sexy.
It is a revolution to laugh at a world that wants you to kill yourself.
Punjabi. What my cousins taught me we could call each other when I went to Pakistan to visit my family 5 years ago.
Feeling like a modern house husband in the kitchen, feeling like nothing can come between us and egg drop soup for breakfast. When we open the cabinet door and our manhood flies out the window in aria form, up an octave like that French vaulter, except no pole to hit on the way down.
Finally, the 3 F's. Fierce, fashionable, and I forgot what the last one was. Apostrophe, sexy.
It is a revolution to laugh at a world that wants you to kill yourself.
Pie! Urdu. What younger siblings are expected to call their elder brothers? My brother, 3 years younger than me, never caught on.
Fuck our housemate. And his back of the hand, flick of the wrist, spider disposal. Oh, I see. So when he kicks out the 8-legged ghost, he claims a birthright, and when I do it, I'm haunted.
You need to rehearse the dance of contracting and expanding your lungs, pressing them up close against your ribs to make room for the theft you are about to commit.
The grip on my throat is vice-like tight, right? I'll scream and you'll cover my mouth. I'll fight by on-sight. Here's a tip. You've got to be quick-witted if you want to be acquitted of the guilt-soaked villain that you ought to be. You were taught to be. Don't torture me.
What planet are you on? The one full of people you don't see. Rows of people bent 12 hours to machines living, to work, to live, pockets turned out to line our new jeans. The one where phones shining in shop windows store children's blood on their memory cards. The one where ransacked nations celebrate independence while supply lines cut to the next in healing to keep our shoes cheap. The one where a handful, hold in handfuls more than your life's work was weighed to be worth for far less than it deserves.
What planet are you on? Somebody's son just got firebombed in the hospital. His siblings ate because of him. And now, scavenging in the rubble of 100 homes. And now, his siblings have to sort out dinner. They can't mourn if they starve. What planet are you on? Somebody's daughter left this morning under the whip of a master. She was one moment dying slowly in the fumes of the cobalt she had to collect, and is now dying quick in a cave-in. The metal in her hands coming to you in your next phone. What planet are you on? Somebody's mother wakes up 5 a.m., military training. 2 bullets have taken out 2 of her children. And now she's taking the rifle in her hands so that maybe a third won't find another. What planet are you on? Somebody's father used to farm his land in peace until a border struck through its green body. And now men in fatigues get to decide whether it will be developed into a reserve or a shopping centre.
What planet are you on? You stand complicit in murder as you tap your phone for another overpriced Starbucks coffee. You deny the homeless man you'll lose change because he'll just spend it on drugs. Like you haven't racked up enough debt-racking lines. You think you're better now? Metamorphosist into a fine specimen business class. As you dismiss another CV from a person of colour, trans or disabled because it wasn't the aesthetic you were going for. You galore in privilege because you worked hard to get your foot in the door. You clawed your way up the ladder. You were taught never look back. That's so you can live blissfully unaware of the shoe prints in the bodies that founded the foundations of your success. How do you sleep at night is a preposterous question to ask. You count sheep as I count how many creatures were boiled to make your silk sheets. Such a hard day when you wake up late, your shirt's not ironed, you can't find a parking spot and the queue's too long in Greg's for you to get a bacon butty. So you huff and you puff your way down to the office. Such a hard day. The colleague next to you's got the sniffles. It's infuriating. They sniffle again. Blow your nose, it's disgusting, you say. Because a problem's only a problem if it's directly under your nose, right?
Did your mum tell you how grown up you look in your high vis? When you were 12, did she bark at the kid who tried to cleave you with an ice skate? Did she paint your nails on your 9th birthday and weep? We said all coppers are bastards. I know a bastard well. I have her eyes. She tries to buy me boxers every time I go home. There is an oil burn on her forearm from one New Year's Day. How do you feel when mums clear their children from your path down the street? Do you have your mother's eyes? Do you have her humanity?
Do you know whose bodies are stuck in the roads you walk? Do you know whose blood runs through the petrol in your car? Do you know whose nails are caught in the jacket you're wearing? Do you know whose back broke to supply your coffee with almond milk? Do you know whose heart is milled into the soil of your garden? Do you know whose eyes last looked at your phone battery before they died? Do you know whose child collected the diamonds in your necklace?
What planet are you on? With mob mentality thick in the air, racist dickheads line St. Peter's Square. So I get an Uber home with a friend, so we don't get hurt. Seems unfair. Really, I'm terrified for her. What planet are you on? Where prime ministers demonize trans kids, drag queens through the mud, taint them with a predatory brush. But when you look at the statistics, the violence stays persistent and we stain our streets with blood. What planet are you on? Where death machine manufacturers are pulling at strings so they can cash in, genociding innocents. At least it keeps the bills flowing. What planet are you on? In a so-called first world country, which in itself is a stupid way to define it, really. Colonizers write their linguistic history. Oh, and you can't get an abortion there anymore. So when a young girl is forced to lay her babe at your door, don't leave their lips to turn blue there. Who cares when they're in care? Right? What? Don't despair. Everything's peachy keen, totally fine. I'm not thinking about it. Smelling of roses. Don't you know what planet you're on?
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 Don't you know?
Don't you know what planet
What
you're on?
planet you're on?
Don't you know what planet you're on?
Don't
you know what planet you're on?
Don't you know what planet you're on?
Don't you know what planet you're on?
Don't you know what planet you're on?
Well, don't you know what
Don't
planet
you know what planet you're on?
Don't you know what planet
Don't
you're
you
on?
know?